Well, hello. I would say good morning, except I think it's now, yes, it's 12:30, so it's actually good afternoon. So, beg your pardon. Good afternoon. It's freezing. Absolutely freezing. It's like midwinter today. The sun did do its best and try to come out a little bit, which warmed me a tiny bit. But if you can hear a noise, it's actually because I've lit the two jets on the cooker. Trying to warm the air up a bit. I've actually ordered a little halogen heater. I used to have one when I lived in Prestwich, and all the dogs loved it. I used to lie in front of it whenever I lit it. But unfortunately, it got broken when I moved from Prestwich to Fleetwood. I don't know what happened to it. They're very flimsy. They're not very expensive, and they're quite flimsy. Excuse me. My nose is running because it's cold. So I used to love it. It just used to warm and it wasn't very expensive to run. So I've ordered another one. I am not putting on the heating just yet. What am I wearing? Well, this is from my shop. My shop? My favourite shop. I really should be sponsored by them because, heck, I give them enough publicity. Moonbeams and Mayhem. It was supposed to be like a summer coat, but it's a bit, I don't know, a bit dressing gown. I wouldn't wear it out, let's just say. So I do put it over my clothes because I don't feel quite like I'm in my house coat, if you know what I'm saying. I feel a little bit more dressed up. I've got my lilac lurex top on with my beads, of course, and I've got purple trousers on. But as they're flimsy not crochet trousers, no. As they're flimsy trousers, I've actually got a pair of leggings underneath. Oh, I'm determined to stay warm. Anyway, why have I come on apart from to gabble at you about it being cold? I've got a Simply Crochet magazine. Came with a little free gift of a little super cute puppy kit. Yeah, excuse me, my nails broke. Doing my best to cover it up with a bit of nail polish, but it broke right off. I can never have a full set. I don't know how you manage. If you all manage to keep a full set, I always manage to break one. Yeah, right at the bottom. Oh, never mind. Put nail polish on, hope it doesn't show. Anyway, there we are. Super cute puppy. Says take me home. Will I be making it? Probably not. I'll probably give it to my friend. But I must remember that the instructions are always in the magazine. Which is a bit awkward really when you want to give somebody it as a gift. They should put the pattern inside, shouldn't they really? But no. That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? Too easy. Do you know, I really must get my camera sorted out so that I'm actually looking at it instead of looking over there. But hey. Anyway, you're looking at the magazine, not me. It's number 167. Simply Crochet, and it arrived yesterday. For once, that is in it. It's like Dracula, ready for Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween. I know lots of people do. If you want a more in-depth view of this magazine, I suggest you watch Crochet Rocks, because she does more in-depth than I ever do. I just skip through. Right, this is a bag, but you've got to, I think it's free, the pattern, not the bag, free the pattern, but you've got to look for Glenda Ghost Bag on www.divinedebris.com if you're into making a spooky, ghosty bag. The pattern is not in this magazine, but the link is. The link is. That's Horizon Chunky pattern. I don't like it because with a lot of top-down sweaters you have to be careful. To me, they have broken too low down for the sleeve. It's looking sort of slightly penguin, yeah? You know what I mean? I've actually stopped doing one I bought the pattern for, because when I looked at it, it was in triple trebles in UK terms, and I don't like doing that stitch. It's too open work for me, so ditched it. I'd already done the neckband, so I ditched it, yeah. Right, this book is got some lovely patterns in, but they're not for me. That's a wall hanging, which is absolutely gorgeous, but it's done in, is it called mosaic crochet, where you have to break it off? You only ever do one-sided rows. So can you imagine how many tails you'd have to stitch in at the sides? Oh, I'm afraid I'm a fair weather crocheter. My friend does that sort of thing, but not me, not me. We've got a little key ring. There's a little birdie with a strawberry in its mouth. Now that I don't really, it's a nice pattern, but I don't really want to cover a vase with it. Again, it's probably mosaic crochet, as is the bag, yeah? I don't know why, I'm a more instantaneous type of crocheter. I don't like things that would take me forever. Hence I never do a blanket, yeah. That's very pretty, but it's not something that I would do. And my friend would do this, but I definitely wouldn't. She's already done a couple of blankets in this mosaic crochet type of thing, yeah. I would just freak, you know, with all the ends to stitch in. You know I do granny squares, and that's bad enough, but oh dear, 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 dear. Right, what have we got? Oh, the blanket is done in double knitting, West Yorkshire Spinners. I mean, look at I shouldn't show you the instructions because it's a paid for book, isn't it? But I would be lost at row 1. Row 1 is that long. Change to bluebell, change to daisy, change to bluebell, change to no. You've lost me. Already, you've lost me. Geometrical gem. That's quite, I don't think I'd make it, but it is quite nice. You know, it's my style of a jacket, but I don't know whether I would. Maybe not. Raffula, if you're into amigurumi or toys as we used to call them in the old days. Showing me age, showing me age. If you subscribe today, you will get a Serdar scarf kit and hooks. If you subscribe to who? Who are you subscribing to? Our media shop, whatever. I don't know whether you're subscribing to the magazine or what you're subscribing to. I wouldn't think it'd be worth £50, would you? Am I behind the times with the cost of wool? Maybe I am. That's not in the magazine, I don't think. Oh no, it's available from Ready Cut. Oh, one of those toys you do in that super thick fluffy blanket wool. Yeah. Now this seems to be a hat that's purchased. Doesn't look like a hat that's crocheted to me. And you just write boo on the front of it. That's what it looks like. Yeah, boring headwear. Yeah, it just seems to be putting it on top, yeah. Yeah, that's not in the magazine, but it's a nice shawl, isn't it? Blanket, whatever it is. I prefer to say shawl because then I would make them. Right, what else have we got? Oh, there's a scarf. Learn tapestry crochet, that, yeah. It seems to be all about tapestry and mosaic, this book. Whimsy and Whiskers. That's a cushion. And Sweet Shopper. Ooh. Hold it up, Janet, hold it up. Orange Crush. This is quite wearable, isn't it? But I don't like huge sleeves. I get sort of fastened up on every door handle I go past. Yeah. Me being picky again, aren't I? Yeah. Now, I just read this, it's Second Nature. And I'd love to know how she makes this pay. She used to sell her things and do crochet lessons on a canal barge, apparently. What she calls Sophie. Sophie what? Sophie, doesn't say. Oh, Sophie Hale. But when COVID hit, of course, she couldn't do, you know, the crochet lessons on a canal barge because of you had to be so many feet apart and you had to know the person you were with and make a bubble and all that jazz, didn't we? So then she sold up and went and bought somewhere in the Hebrides, I think. I think it's in the Hebrides somewhere. And now she wants to keep sheep and she wants to... I'd love to know how they make it pay. I really would. I admire anybody who can make it pay. Absolutely. But she does go around teaching crochet lessons and teaching different things. So I suppose, you know, you've dedicated yourself to travelling around everywhere. I suppose maybe you could make it pay. I'm the wrong end of the life scale for that. Right, it looks like a sloth, is it? Oh, it is a sloth or a sloth or whatever you want to call it. Got little weedy legs, haven't it? Weedy arms, but never mind. It's a sloth. And King Cole is celebrating 90 years strong. When we had shops, I should say, because they were my mum's way long before they were mine, we used to sell King Cole, yeah. You can now win 90 balls of yarn worth £650. What do you have to do to win it? Residents of the UK and the Channel Islands can enter. The closing date is 23:59 on the 3rd of November, so you better hurry up, yeah? For full terms and conditions, see www.gathered.house/competitions. So I don't know whether it's free to enter. It's not exactly stated what it is. Don't miss our chance to enter. You could be a lucky winner. Oh, provide your name and address email at gathered.house/competitions to enter the prize draw. Oh, so sounds as though it's free. So get entering, people. Get entering if you want to win 90 balls of yarn worth £650. Yay. I've just got to say I might have a dabble at that, but what do I want with another load of... I'm still trying to work my way through what I've already got. Now that's quite pretty. That's Quilt Different, a dazzling combo of granny stripes and shawls. You know I don't do blankets, but you could make a small lap blanket, I suppose, with that. So I like the way the colour combinations have gone, you know, into the squares. It's a little bit different than just a normal granny square, isn't it? A little bit more, you know, got something more about it, hasn't it, really? Yeah. And then we've got the pattern for the puppy love, which I need to show my friend. That's doing a stitch in different yarns. They do the yarns. I'm no doubt that Tracy will do them in great depth, but they are so expensive. You know, I'm sorry, but oh my goodness me. You know, when you're on a budget, you know, you can't afford things like this. Yeah. I mean, one of them is Rowan Kid Classic, which I presume is beautiful. It's 70% wool, 29% mohair, but it's £9.75 for a 50-gram ball. There we go. Very pretty, but oh my goodness me. You might as well say £10 a ball, mightn't you? Oh dear, dear. And I mean, that one is the Love of Stripes. It's Stylecraft. It's £5.30, which doesn't sound too bad for 100, is it 100 gram? But it's chunky, so I mean, you'd need a heck of a lot, wouldn't you, of wool to make something chunky. You know, I've just paid $3.99 a ball for the Signet Boho Spirit, but that's kind of a one-off for me. I don't normally spend so much money on things. Yeah. You just have to. I'd love to do it. I'd love to use better quality yarns and different things, but when you're on a budget, you just have to watch what you're doing, don't you? I've got a message from the electricity supplier. It made me smile actually, because it said, you need to put up your payments to £71 a month. And I thought, I'm already paying, no, £71 a month you have to put it up to. I'm already paying 75. So I thought, that's a bit odd. I've yet to work that one out. Right, I think the nearest the last one is Stylecraft Special Double Knitted. It's Sugar Plum. It's a cowl. I never successfully managed to wear a cowl. I don't know whether I've got the wrong shaped neck or what, yeah. Then you've got all the charts and diagrams. Oh, I'm going to turn off that gas now. Oh. It's warmed the air a bit, yeah. Ooh, next issue. Oh, this is my street, the next issue. Look at that. Woohoo! That's a janitor, isn't it? I love anything I can use my oddments up with. And I'm going to get a calendar with monsters to hook. I hope that's not in chunky. It doesn't look as though it's in chunky, does it? If it's in Aaron, I can adapt, yeah. I don't think I like the hat though. Anyway, I will be getting the magazine because apparently I'm subscribed to it. Still don't know how I'm subscribed to it, but I am, yeah. Dark Delight. Ooh, this is like sort of gothic-y, isn't it? Gothic. I like that black waistcoat. That's nice. I quite like that, but I don't have low enough necks to bare my neck to wear anything like that. But who is that by? Luna Still _Gothic. Christina. Dark Delights. Does she sell them or is it the pattern? I have no idea. You would have to have a look. She's got 16,000 subscribers anyway, or followers. Maybe one day I will. Yeah. If you can see it there, it's at Luna Still _Gothic. Instagram, she must be on. Instagram. Oh, Pink Ribbon Foundation. That's breast cancer, isn't it? Thank you from all of us at Kinko to every knitter and crocheter who has chosen our patterns. Thanks to your continued support, every pattern you've purchased has helped us to raise more than £50,000, which is great, isn't it? For the Pink Ribbon Foundation, over the last 10 years, so it's not that huge. Well, it's something. Everything makes a difference, as they say. Everything makes a difference. Right, what else have I... Well, I buy books from Awesome Books. If you're in the UK, I love that site. Again, I'm not sponsored. Nobody sponsors me. Moonbeams and Mayhem should sponsor me, and Awesome Books should sponsor me. Instead of which, I get an email asking me, did I want to promote something for this bloke or other. When I looked, it was fancy little Barbie type dolls. I thought, no, I don't want to sponsor them. If it was wool or clothing that I wear, or even books that I use, or even a magazine. If you're watching anybody, can you sponsor me? I would love to be sponsored. I'm open to offers of that kind, not of any other offers. Thank you very much. That coffee is nice and warm. Remind me to drink it before it goes cold. Anyway, what I did was these are all second hand, but you would never notice because they are so pristine. Except one. I'll show you what I mean with one of them. But this one, sadly, it doesn't state it. It just says lovely little things to knit and crochet. But when I come to look, Loads of them are felted. I've never done felting. Well, I've accidentally felted things when it was back in the days where we used to knit with wool. Itchy coo, itchy coo. But I've never willingly. What is wrong with my boiler? It's making strange noises. Please don't conk out on me, it's cold. I've never actually willingly felted anything. I don't know any of you have, you know, like felted trivets and coasters, yeah. I've never willingly felted anything. I mean, it was a rage a while back where you made these massive big slippers, didn't you? Then you felted them down. What is wrong with that boiler? It's making the most alarming vibrating noises. It's almost like there's a steamroller going past the front, you know, making the house shake. It's really, what is it? I don't know what it is. I'll sort it out eventually, yeah. Yeah, you can have felted things for on your Christmas tree. One of the ladies at Knit Club was knitting little ornaments for... Now that looks like you should be carrying your arrows in it, you know, if you're an archer. Instead of which it's for double-pointed needles. Might look like a weapon if you were carrying that around with you. I mean, there's some very pretty little things. I mean, that's lavender sachets. Fabric, isn't it, with a little felted heart, which is very pretty. Especially if you were doing something like for a craft fair. Because, as you know, people never want to spend more than 2p. Yeah. And then these are little colourful crocheted flowers, which they're saying you could put on a key ring or you could make them into a bookmark. Again, they're little things that might just sell at a craft fair for, you know, 50p or £1 or something. Because nobody, like I say, nobody ever wants to spend. That's pretty. But again, it's felted. I don't want to felt. I don't have really much wool, because I think it's only wool that felts, isn't it? 100% wool. You know, felted egg cozies. I'm yet to find something that's not felted. I'm sure there must be somewhere. That's something that's not felted. Yeah, baby's first felted slippers, here we go. But it doesn't say on the front of the book that things are felted, otherwise I wouldn't have bought the book. I know it only cost me a couple of quid, but never mind, yeah. I mean, those are fancy-dancy, aren't they? The sleeves or something. Apparently it's mangas is the Spanish word for sleeves. The mountain people of the Andes wear these knitted sleeves over their clothing for warmth. They're like leg warmers for arms. Now those are quite nice if you like socks, aren't they? Weekend socks. They're quite jazzy. I think we're on to the bits that are not felted now. Gilded mesh scarf. I mean, there wouldn't be much warmth in it, but it is decorative, isn't it? Decorative. What else have we got? Oh shush. Why do I never turn it off? Yeah. This is quite pretty, but I wouldn't put the felted bits on it. The baby jacket. It's a nice little basic jacket, isn't it? Precious baby jacket. What's it done in? Dyed cotton. I suppose you could use it in something double knitted. Oh, it's 5mm, so gosh, it's something thick, isn't it? That I don't like thick on a newborn baby. It does go up to 24 months, so you'd be all right with a sort of an Aran type thickness. Oh, shush. Whoa. That phone is doing my head and it's going to go on silent. I'm sorry, but it is. I don't know who's talking to me, but I don't want to know. Oh, gosh. Settings. Sound. Right, off. You might hear it buzz now, but you won't hear it tinkle. Right, here we go. Anyway, I was saying, I think it's a bit thick for a newborn baby. You know, 5mm needles. It's going to be, yeah, thick, isn't it? It's not going to be double knit. I mean, I think double knit is quite thick. That's 3-weight if you're in America. It's quite thick for a baby. Petal slouch cap. There you go. I do not suit hats. I really don't. I've got one or two hats that I wear that are passable, but the rest of them I look like I don't know what in them. Oh, paper roses. You make them for serviettes. Might be nice at Christmas. You know, if you do decor for your table at Christmas, yeah. I'm back again onto felting. You know, you think, oh yeah, granny square bag. Yeah. No, you felt it. I'm sorry, but I'm not into felting. Ruby Foo. Is it Ruby Foo? Ruby Foo? Baby cap. Right, I think that's enough about this book. Oh, that's not felted. It's I think it's knitted with crochet flowers or knitted flowers, I'm not sure. And boot cuffs for the boots. They're quite nice. So anyway, if you wanted that, that's Mag's Candice Gifted. Lovely little things to knit in crochet. So if you're into felted, that's your book, yeah? This one is Easy Knitting Vintage and Retro. Not Metro, Retro. This is the one that annoyed me because I know it's second hand, I know I bought it, but whoever had had it before me had circled all the sizes. Now that irritates the heck out of me. I do not like vandalising a pattern. If I'm going to do that, I'll photocopy or, you know, the sheet of what I'm going to do, and then I will write on that. I will not write on the actual pattern. So I'm not going to knit this, but it still annoys me that they've resold the book with all this graffiti, as I call it, on it. Yeah. Oh, we're back onto felting again. My God, felted cloche hat. I would look at me in that, I tell you. Bucket hats. And me. No, we don't align. Yeah. So it's got some, let me see what it's got. Yeah, she's done it again on this. I mean, that I do like, although I'd probably crochet it. You know, knitted edging for a... I thought of doing it on that cupboard, but then I thought, well, I've got the microwave underneath it, so yeah, a bit iffy in it, yeah. But I wouldn't knit lace. It would take me too long. I'd have to crochet it, yeah. She's done the same thing on this sweater. She's circled all the blooming sizes again. And she's even written at the top. Oh, that does annoy me. Does annoy me. I'm like, no, don't do that. Do you do that? Do you? Or do you graffiti all over your patterns? Yeah. Sweet scented lavender bags. They're quite pretty if you're doing them for a sort of a craft fair or something like that. Yeah. What else have I got? I don't want to go through everything in the book, do I? Because I mean, it's an older book, it's not a new one. But what else have we got in here? In here. It is nice. Oh, I do like that. Now I could do that because you know I can't do circular needles, but the yoke would fit on a pair. Because I think this is knitted in the old-fashioned way, which is what I like, which is like the back, 2 fronts, 2 sleeves, not all in one. Yeah. And what I like about them when you do them that way is you don't get this huge penguin armpit, you know. When you're going downwards, you really do need to keep trying things on, otherwise your armholes are too low down and you look like a penguin like that when you can't get the sleeves right. Is it just me? And I quite like that. You know I don't do throws, but I quite like the idea of it being a bit log cabin-y, you know. Although I must look up the pattern that my dear friend Sue used to do log cabin baby blankets, and everyone she made used to sell like that, yeah. She didn't do them in baby colours, she did them in bright, dark colours, if you ever remember. She'd do them in purples and colours like that, and every one of them sold, yeah. So, yeah, and that's just really an idea you could copy. It's just like threaded through, making it look fancy, doesn't it? At the you know, I think it's just all the way threaded through, whether it's ribbons or cords, I don't know. But you could do that on an ordinary cardigan pattern, couldn't you? You don't need the pattern. Is it done with ribbon, or what is it done with? Purchasing, what do you have to purchase? It's done in mohair, so yeah, not everybody can wear mohair. I can't. I go twitchy. Yeah, narrow velvet ribbon. You could do that with an ordinary cardigan, couldn't you? Thread your velvet ribbon through. I mean, if you're careful, you wouldn't need to do eyelets, would you? You could thread it through the actual fabric if your fabric was loose enough, yeah? Yes. Black and white sweater. Now that would have to be done on a circular needle because, you know, it's a yoke on a sweater. Yokes on cardigans you can get away with, yeah? Says she who has done it many times. And these are cute. I mean, they're not actually fastened. You just do them in ribbon, then it's just pretend, you know, you just sew buttons all the way down. I quite like that because, as you know, I don't like my bottoms of my arms being cold, yeah? Oh, I wish I could wear a cloche hat. I used to love watching ABBA, you know, when she used to wear that crochet hat with a flower on it. And I did make myself one, and it didn't look like Agneta, was she called Agneta? Yeah. Oh, there we are, like if you want to have longer stockings. I would never be able to keep them up. They'd start dribbling down on me. I'm bad enough with anything like that. And I quite like that cardigan, actually, yeah. Don't know whether you can see it or not. Do you know the light in here is terrible? Vintage lacy cardigan. What's it done in? Double knits. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Not bad, not too bad. And that reminds me of a sweater I made for my ex-husband. It's got a plain back, this one, but I made him one that was fair owl back and front, and it was done in 4-ply, or fingering weight if you're in America. And I don't think he ever wore it. I think I finished up wearing it. Those are nice, aren't they? Corsage, which I would crochet. Yeah, so that's called Easy Knitting, Vintage and Retro. And they are still available, these books, if you're interested. I don't think it's by anybody in particular, but that's what it is. As I say, if you're in the UK, take a look at this second-hand book. This one is Easy Crochet Accessories by Carol Meldrum. Not Victor Meldrum, Carol Meldrum. What have we got in here? Well, we've got pages and pages of how to at the beginning. Understanding patterns, how to finishing techniques. That's half the book before we get any further. Right, quick and easy, bags and purses. Now that one would need some kind of stiffening, I think, on the handle. Otherwise it would be very droopy. You know, those kind of handles that are knitted in, they just droop. I never get the principle of these bulb bags. You know, the ones where you thread the handle through the other handle, and no. And I don't like that. It looks very messy, like a beginner made it. Shouldn't be nasty, should it, to beginners? Evening purse. You could make it a little bit bigger and put your phone in it, couldn't you? Or whatever. I think that's all of them. I mean, that's pretty. Pretty bag. What else have we got now? The next projects are quick and easy throws and pillows. Softly textured throw, that's very, very basic. Pillow, I don't like that because you can see right through here. It's too oly for me. Especially with all that fringe around the edge. Look at that. If you had a pet, have a field day with that, wouldn't it, if you have a cat? Ruffle throw, again it's very, very open work. A ruffle pillow. I don't think I would actually make anything of these. A floor cushion. But the thing is, if you buy them off this site, you're only paying £2 or £3 for them anyway, so if you don't like them, it's less than a paper pattern these days, isn't it? And what I do, I don't like them, I put them in the charity shop or something like that and get rid of them that way. Pointed pixie hood. Striped beanie, I presume the mittens. Mock cable tie belt. Oh, I found my macrame belt. I thought I'd lost it, but I found it. It was in somewhere where I don't know why I put it there. You know when you put it away somewhere safe and you can't find it? I found it today. When I was looking for it, couldn't find it anywhere. Denim square tie belt. Again, you wouldn't really need a pattern, would you, for that? Wouldn't it stretch though? Man, if you keep putting weight on, I suppose it'd be a good idea if it kept stretching, yeah? Make it smaller and let it stretch. Lace cape. I wouldn't want it that thick, but that's handy if you're going, you know, a bridesmaid or something with these strapless dresses and it's not quite as warm as you think it's going to be. That'd be ideal. I don't like that, it's too thick. Too thick and clunky. Now, circles are my nemesis. I never know how to join the things together. I once had to go at that Irish crochet. I couldn't fathom it at all. Yeah. And these I do not like. These short back things and sleeves. What's the point? That don't keep you warm, does it? Maybe it's for these young ones that are decorative. Yeah. Striped poncho. Striped poncho? Be alright for evening wear, wouldn't it? You know, obviously, you know, if you do go out in the evening and you do happen to wear strapless dresses. Quick and easy scarves. Now, what's the point of that one? It's decorative, isn't it? But bubbles on a string, yeah. That's quite pretty if you want to do sequin work. Pom-pom knitted trim scarf, quite a chunky looking thing. Can you imagine swinging them about? They're like lethal weapons, aren't they? That's pretty. Chevron scarf. And that's another, oh, felted scarf. We're back onto felted again. Skinny beaded scarf, or you could use it as a belt. Sort of very hippie-ish, isn't it, that? Decorative rather than useful, yes. Quick and easy jewellery. I prefer crochet roses, I don't know why. I've not really seen many knitted flowers that I actually like. Well, I think that is crochet, but I don't like it anyway. That's the chrysanthemum. Oh, I gave it away actually. I got a book on this wire, but it defeated me. You know, where you thread the wires and thread the beads onto them. I just gave the book away. I knew I'd never do it, yeah. Circular disc necklace. And filigree lace choker. That would be alright if it was in black, if you were a bit of a goth. Yeah. And a beaded ladder choker. Again, working with beads is not something I'm very good at. Anyway, this one's called Easy Crochet Accessories by Carol Meldrum. Now this one is the pièce de résistance if you're a knitter. Really takes me back to probably the 60s, 70s, when this was all the rage. It's edited by Hugh Ehrman, because the patterns inside are all by different people. But look at that. I had one like that, done in mohair. It itched me to death, but it was gorgeous. It was in black cerise, like a peacock. It was beautiful. but I don't know what happened to it. Probably gave it away, you know what I mean? It was when I had the shop. But it itched like fury, it did. But these are absolutely blasts from the past. If you like vintage, you'll like this. This is done in Rowan double knitting by Mary Hobson. It's called Scotty, for obvious reasons. Now, none of these will be top down on circular needles because it's an old book, and that's not the way we used to knit. We used to knit back, front, two sleeves and all that jazz. This one's called Viking. Annabelle Fox, wasn't she no, it can't be the same lady. Wasn't she a tennis player? No? Oh, I don't know. It's called Viking. You can see the Viking ship. Annabelle Croft, that was. Oh, I like it in the darker colour. Annabelle Croft, that was her, not Annabelle Fox. It's all charted stuff. Oh, we're back to, oh my goodness, Kafir Facet. Now, it looks quite nice, but look at his chart. Honestly. Telling you what the colour sequence is. I'd have to photocopy that and cross each line out. I'd never get it done. I mean, it's very nice, isn't it, if you like sort of vintagey stuff. Hannah from This Little Doll's House would love all this sort of stuff, wouldn't she? Susan Duckworth, a ruched cardigan. Ooh, ruched cardigan. Oh gosh, this is really sort of 60s, 70s, isn't it? Japanese Stripe by Sue Bradley. Oh gosh, if you're my age group, this is taking me right down memory lane. Oh, there's a lot of work in that, isn't there, for a kiddie? Chinese puzzle. Oh, such a lot of work. Florentine Check by Mary Hobson. I don't know if you can see it or not, it's in such dull colours. Oh, I like that, but not in those colours. Peacock jacket. Oh, can you see it? It's so dark. I'm trying to get it in a good light. It's really pretty, but I wouldn't like those dark colours. Oh gosh, this is bringing back memories. Bat Wings. Do you remember Bat Wings? Sue Bradley. And we all had to have a bat wing to be fashionable. Yay! Harlequin, another one by Mary Hobson. Harlequin. Oh gosh, this is taking me right back. Oh, this is lovely. Feathers by Kafir Facet. This is like Leslie, not quite enough yarn if you follow her. She would love that. You. She's designing something, I think, very similar. Again, it wouldn't be cave without the colour sequence chart. String of Beads by Susan Duckworth. And there we are, the basket weave sweater. Oh, it's Susan Duckworth. I'd love to have a go at that, but I don't know whether I've got the patience anymore. You know, to do this. I think they used to call it entrelac, didn't they? I did one. I told you I did one in mohair. Aztec by Sasha Kagan, yeah. I remember he used to do a lot of things. Oops. It reminds you of all Creatures Great and Small, doesn't it? The full length series. Purely Pretty by Mary Hobson. Oh, I remember making things with, you know, the little gaps in the sleeves and bows. I made a few similar to that on my knitting machine. Oh, goodness. Kafir Facet. I mean, my friend June, she used to knit a few of these. They are works of art. I mean, you know, This is the kind of book where you may not want to knit anything out of it, but you like to look at it because it's so intriguing, you know. Crisp Cotton by Sue Bradley. That's quite pretty. It's got like a little lacy colour. Yeah, I probably will never knit anything out of this book at all. Oh, this reminds me of a, oh gosh, there was a lady. She used to have a shop in Covent Garden. And she did a whole range of pattern books. She sadly went out of business years ago. And they had animals on the front. I did one with like a gorilla on the front. And I can't remember what she was called now. And it was a very upmarket shop. We went in it once, me and my friend. And it was one of those, she looked at me as if I crawled like a maggot crawling out of the cheese, because, you know, she must have known when I walked in I couldn't afford anything, you know. Her pattern books were, I think, way back in the 60s, her pattern books were about £10, you know, which was a lot back in the 60s. I can't remember her name now. I think I sold one of the books on eBay when I was moving, because I knew I'd never knit them again. Yeah. Nordic Jazz. But like all these designer people, she went out of business, yeah. Ooh, there we are, back to the back wing. Everybody had a back wing. If you were anybody and anybody, you had a back wing. I thought at first that was a whole trouser suit, but it isn't. I love the cardigan. But the trousers are actually fabric, yeah. Again, we're back on Kaffer Fassett. He was at one of the knit shows that I went to. I didn't actually meet him. I saw him, but I didn't actually meet him. My claim to fame is I saw him in the distance. Oh, I like that, but it's, of course, it's a shorty. And being of a certain age group, I don't wear shorties. But I would really like that. That's nice. Oh, as I say, this book is not for the faint-hearted. It's probably what you would call a coffee table book, yeah? Designer knitting by, well, it's not by Hugh Ehrman, he's just edited it. But I do like that. I doubt I would ever knit it, but I do like that. Now, you didn't remind me, my coffee's going cold, did you? And the sun is actually trying its best to shine. Yeah, tomorrow is paper day on the bins. And I'm going to chance my arm and try putting, I've got great big massive cardboard boxes all folded up in the garage. And somebody had said, because my little bin man, he quite likes me. He calls me darling and says hello to me and everything. He's quite a sweet little guy. And if I put them out, he might just take pity on, because he knows I can't walk and that, because he always says, I'll do the bin, darling, don't you walk down here. And he pushes the bin up for me. And so if I put them out, I might chance my arm and put the big ones next to the bin, because I never catch up with the cardboard, because you know Amazon. I mean, I ordered a comb the other day because I broke my, you know, those heavy combs that you comb your hair through when it's wet. A big comb. Snapped it in half. You know, muscles. I must have been on my vitamins. And I ordered a new one, and it came in it wasn't in a box, but it came in a bag thing about that big, and it was only a comb. So I have cardboard coming out my ears, so I'm always like a bin behind, if you know what I mean. As soon as it gets emptied, it's full. And so then anything that comes after that in the next, because they only come once a month with my cardboard, and it's only a small bin. So anything that comes, it's like stacking up again. So by the time that bin gets emptied, I'm filling it with stuff before, I'm always a bin behind. So I'm going to chance my arm and see if I smile sweetly at him and say, oh, you're doing a grand job. I always praise them when they come. I always say to the bin men, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you, really appreciate you. And they might want a tip at Christmas, but you never know. They're worth it. I've got good bin men, I will say that. I've got good bin men around here. I mean, I've had bad bin men in the past where the jobs were, you know, they won't take anything that's a nudgy. If your lid of the bin's not down, they won't take it, you know. And I'm sure they go through it. You've got something in here you shouldn't have in here, yeah. But these bin men are great, absolutely great. Can't fault them. So I'm going to hope that if I put the cardboard next to my bin tomorrow, they might take them. And then my garage might be empty. Because I need to put, you know, I've got the greenhouse that needs putting together. My friend's husband is going to do it for me, but we decided that I probably won't plant anything before spring. So he said sometime between now and spring he will put it together for me. But at the moment it's leaning against the radiator in the conservatory. So I don't want to put the heating on because I don't want it to warp. So the best place for it is still in its box would be to put it in the garage, yeah. So, oh, my garage door's not blown open since I bungee strapped it to my scooter. Oh, I'm very Heath Robinson. If you don't know who Heath Robinson is, look it up. You know, I'm my father's daughter. My father would think of a solution to everything. It might not look great, and he was fantastic at mending anything. It would look like Fred Flintstone had designed it when he did it. I mean, one of my big memories is I used to have a great big hairdryer, very similar to the ones that you had in the hairdressers. And it was a plastic thing that came down, solid plastic. And it's on a pole, sat underneath it while your hair dried. And I don't know whether it was me, my auntie used to hoover for us and do for us, and she was always knocking things over, so she might have knocked it over. And it went into, it was like a jigsaw. It was like a pink jigsaw, yeah. My dad patiently stuck it all together. It looked like, you know, the Japanese trend where if you break a vase, they put it all together with gold. I don't know what it's called. It's an art form, isn't it? And but he did it with glue. So I had this great big hooded thing, yeah. He had plenty of practice with my mother because back in the old days, the irons used to be made of Bakelite, if you're old enough to remember Bakelite. It was kind of like a plastic but very brittle. And my mother was a great one for ironing and then knocking the iron off the end of the ironing board. Splash, boom, gone. So my daddy used to be sick to death of buying her irons every 5 minutes. Lucy, what have you done now? I brought it well, will you be careful what you're doing? And eventually he put like a spring thing so that when she dropped the iron, it was swinging. He wouldn't hit the floor because he got so fed up of her breaking these irons, which he used to have to patiently glue together again because there was no Amazon back in the day. You had to physically go to a shop and buy an iron, yeah. And it wasn't always convenient, you know. But it was my mum's birthday yesterday. I was trying to work out how old she would have been. I can't remember if she was born 1910 or 1911. I know she'd be well over 100. Well, she would, because I'm 80. In November, I'm 80, so she would have been. She was round about getting up for 40 when I was born. So, gosh, yeah. She'd be 100 and something, wouldn't she? Can't work it out. My maths is terrible. I'll let you work it out and tell me. Yeah, so it was her birthday yesterday, yeah. Oh, cheers, Mummy. Hey, I put it on and one of my cousins, my cousin's wife, she put on that, you know, my mum was sort of very loving and very considerate. She was in her own way, but she was never a lovey-dovey kind of person. You know, she would never be one to give you a kiss or anything like that. If you fell over, it was, oh, get up, you know, your leg's not hanging off, get up, you know, rub it better, it'll be fine. And she was the world's worst of you. She was a nurse, right? And she was the world's worst if you did anything to yourself or scrape your knee. She'd slap this stuff on, you know, yeah, mother, oh, it's stinging. You know, and she'd be swabbing it with cotton wool and boiling water, it felt like, yeah. She was never My dad used to say she was very heavy-handed. Yeah, very heavy-handed. But she was loving in her own way. But she wasn't demonstrative, let's just say. She was with my son, funnily enough. She would hug and kiss my son. But she never did with me. But yet she did show her love in other ways, yeah. Now my dad was the one. If I wanted any cuddles, I had to go to my dad. But the trouble was he was never home. And when I say never home, I don't mean he was a scallywag or anything. He worked very long hours. You know, I mean, he had to support us, didn't he? Because wages were poor. He was a butcher back in the day. Sorry if you're vegan. But he was a butcher. And he worked 7 o'clock in the morning while 7 o'clock at night. They did back in the day. And the wages were quite small, you know, but he always was a worker. My mum did what she could, you know. She used to do what we used to call the housewife shift. She would do 6 till 10, either in the cotton mills or she worked in a cake factory one time. Park Cake, it's still there in Oldham. They make loads and loads of cakes for Marks and Spencer's. Yeah, we used to get boxes of broken biscuits. And apparently you couldn't choose. These boxes were sealed up. They were a tin box sealed up. And you just paid for a box, so much it was, in the shop, which was every Friday, I think, or something. And we always got the jammy dodgers. And to this day, I still cannot look at a jammy dodger. If you're in America and you don't know what a jammy dodger is, it's 2 pieces of biscuit sandwiched together, but the top one's got a hole in it so you can see the jam inside. Now the older ones used to have cream and jam, but now they've only got jam. It sounds fantastic to a kid, doesn't it, getting a big tin box like that full of jammy dodgers, but oh, you were sick of the sight of jammy dodgers. And then she'd come bearing another tin, maybe, we didn't have one a week, maybe a month later she'd come on with another tin, and we were like pulling the string, you know, the tape, see what it was, and oh, Mum, you've got another box of jammy dodgers. And she said, well, I don't know what's in them. And if it wasn't that, it was, you know, the what we used to call the tea cakes. They're a biscuit with marshmallow and chocolate over the top. But if the machine had gone a bit off, they went a bit to the side like that, they couldn't sell them. So they were like misshapes, if you're with me. It was the same with the jammy dodgers. The jammy dodgers were misshapes. They would miss and they wouldn't be perfectly aligned. So that's why they got sold off to the staff, yeah. So it would either be, she never got anything different except these blooming chocolate tea cakes, we used to call them, or jammy dodgers. So that was my childhood treats. The afters were misshapen biscuits. And when you think how many varieties they used to sell, you know, they used to make, yeah, because she worked at McVitie's, I think that's where the biscuits were from. She never really came on with any cakes from Park Cake. Maybe they were too expensive, I don't know. Because we were on budgets, you know. But talking about that, my friend's mum used to work where they made Mars bars, yeah, amongst other chocolatey things. And whenever I went to her house, it was always a Mars bar, not in the wrapper. They used to just sell them in a box, kind of loose, without paper wrap around them. They were misshapes again. So every time I went to her house, it was, do you want a Mars bar? I mean, at first it was a novelty. But after a while, you're like, no thanks. And my friend Sandra was like, do have a Mars bar. It's less that we've got to eat. Do have a Mars bar, yeah. It's surprising what memories come back to you from your childhood, isn't it? That you don't think about, and then all of a sudden it pops into your head. I mean, I do eat Mars bars now, but like 60 odd years has gone by since I was force-fed Mars bars. And about, 70 years has gone by since I was force-fed a jammy dodger or a chocolate tea cat, and I still can't eat them. Still can't eat them. Don't like them at all. Anyway, that's enough about me rambling. I'm sorry if you don't like me looking at vintage books, but, you know, hey-ho, you just don't have to watch me, do you? Just switch off when you get disinterested. But if you're still with me right to the bitter end, can you do a thumbs up, please? Like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you would like to hype, it would be great. And thank you so much for the people who've bought me coffees. Oh, very, very much appreciated. You don't know what it means, you know, when you get the notification, you have been bought a coffee. You know, I won't say your names out publicly, but you know who I mean, yeah. I don't believe in, like, you know, I won't say showing people up. That's wrong, isn't it? No, it's not showing people up if they've given me a gift, is it? But unless they say I can say their names, I don't want to, yeah? You know what I mean? Fair enough. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I've warmed up a bit, thanks to my summer coat, which I've used as a dressing gown. Thank you, Moonbeams and Mayhem. Sponsor me, please. I would love to be sponsored by somebody like that, or sponsored by Simply Crochet magazine, or anybody else really. Just not little dollies. I'm not into promoting little plastic dollies. It's not my thing. Right, I'm going to go. I had a bacon sandwich for my breakfast, so that'll do me. I won't have anything. I've got a pot of homemade soup, if you can see it there behind me. It was a little bit watery, so I need to sort of thicken the next lot up. I've still got about 2 huge bowls in that silver thingy-majig. It's one of those soup makers, yeah. It made veggie soup. It looked like I had loads of veg in, but it must have shunted down, because you only put the stock in to the level of the vegetables, but for some reason or other, when it finished cooking, the vegetables must have all softened and gone small. So it finished up very watery. I mean, I did eat it yesterday, but I was thinking I need to put something else in it. Maybe a tin of some vegetables or something. Or I did look up, I googled how to thicken watery soup, and it did say, you know, corn flour and stuff like that, but I don't know about that. It's got potatoes in, so I can't do mashed potatoes in it, can I? And if I put rice in, I'd have to cook it, wouldn't I, first, or pasta in it, I'd have to cook it. All thoughts on that. But next time I make soup, I need to make it thicker. More veg, less stock. Yeah. That's a thought. Anyway, it was nice and warm, and it's warming. And most of all, it's cheap. Make your own soups. Nice and cheap, yeah. So it's soups and stews from now on, because it's winter. Not autumn, we're going straight to winter, yeah. Anyway, I've done an hour. It's too long. Anyway, I don't edit, so stop talking, Janet, and say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.